bear with me, my old bud has got to figure out how to get Jiggyfly over here. So hang on just a minute. Hang on a minute, I'm trying to get Jiggyfly over here. Jiggy, if you're in here, comment. What's up, TJ? How you doing today, man? In the process of figuring out how to get Jiggy over here. Hope you're doing well, brother. What's going on, Jimmy? Hope you're doing well too. Jiggy should be over here in just a minute. How's this winter weather affecting y'all out there? Oh, come on, T-Bone. How's it going, brother? Did you have to use that snow plow the other day to dig yourself out of the driveway? Yeah, I never liked filing taxes, man. When I was doing what y'all are doing, that was my least favorite time of the year. I used to file them quarterly, and I tried to overpay a little bit each time, so that at the end of the year. Yeah, I haven't seen the video yet. I'll have to hop over there in a little bit and look at it. And I'm pretty sure you did use it. You need it up there. What company are you going with there, Jimmy? You could just say the hell with those taxes and just ride it out and hope that the economy just completely collapses before they have time to come collect it. You'd have pretty good odds that it probably will completely collapse before they have time to come collect it. Oh man, T-Bone. If I was there, I'd help you out, brother. I really would. I'd open up one of these cold iced teas and light a cigarette, and talk to you all the way through it. Great Lakes Cold Logistics. I don't believe I've heard of them. If I have, I just don't remember them right off the bat. What are they starting you at out over there, Jimmy? Jiggyfly, you made it, brother. I'm gonna post a link in the chat for you there, Jiggyfly. Click this link. All right, Jiggyfly, there's a link there. Yes, that is bad tax advice. I would pay the taxes. Don't. I'm Yes, I support Canada's truck. What they're doing up there in Canada, I support that 100%. I did a little video on it. I think a couple of other people did videos on it. I'm kind of proud of them. They stuck together better than we do down here. That's for sure. 60 cents per mile. That's pretty good. Internet catches up with it.
Hey, there we are. Can you hear me?
How's it going, brother?
Let's see.
You're in here now.
Yeah, hang on a second. I'm not hearing you. Let me.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. I see you, but I don't hear you for some reason.
Okay.
Hang on a second. I might can alleviate that problem.
All right.
Let's see here. I'll open up YouTube on another. Let's see.
If you can, turn your truck off where you're at.
I'm working on it.
All right.
I'm working on it. There you go. Now I got you.
All right. Now you can hear me?
There you go. Now I got you.
All right. Now you can hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right. Do you have your truck running?
I can hear you now.
Do you have your truck running?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll cut that off.
All right.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. All right. If you can, brother. If you can, brother, move the speaker away from the phone. All right. If you can, brother. If you can, brother, move the speaker away from the phone.
Okay.
If you can, brother, move the speaker away from the phone.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. Just trying to get the background.
I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Okay, I think we got it solved now.
Just trying to get the. Let me try this for a second. See if we can get that loop out of there.
Solved now.
Let me try this for a second. See if we can get that loop out of there. All right. Got to get the speaker to where the where your screen won't pick it up. Otherwise, it'll just loop back and forth. Got to get the speaker to where the where your screen won't pick it up.
Let me try something else here.
All right. We'll get Jiggy back here in a minute. Got to get the speaker to where the screen won't pick it up. Otherwise, it'll just keep looping through on the feed. You know, every time one of us speaks, it'll come out, and then your phone or whatever you're using will pick it up, and then it'll put it back through. What's up, Cordova? How are you doing today up there, man? Yeah, there you go. T-Bone's pretty good at dealing with this stuff there, Jiggy. Yeah, I think he wasn't able to hear me, so I think he was trying to use a second device to hear me. Let's see if he's got it here.
Okay.
All right, how's it doing now?
Yeah. Can you hear me now? I'm good. Okay. I think we got it solved. It's just that for some reason, your volume went way weak whenever I opened this up under the link that you gave me. And so I don't know why that's happening, but I can still hear you.
Good deal. Good deal. How's it going out there? First, you can introduce yourself, man. How long you been driving and what are you up to and all that kind of stuff, man?
Right now, I am in Salida, I believe is how you pronounce it, either Salida or Salida, Colorado. I'm doing a 34-hour reset. This has got to be one of the most beautiful places on earth. This has got to be a well-kept secret. This is it's not a ski village. This is even though it's in the middle of the Rockies, this is a summertime village. They've got a lot of summertime activities with zip lines and whitewater rafting and that kind of thing. But it is just drop dead gorgeous here. And of course, everything is covered with snow right now. We just had the winter storm that come through and dumped about a foot of snow, and it's everything is snow covered. But I am getting a lot of miles. I'm driving my 70 out every week. So I have to do these 34s at some odd places, and this is, I don't mind this one a bit because it's just drop dead gorgeous out here.
Yeah, I don't know the town you're in, but I've done a few in Colorado. You gonna go do some zip lining while you're there?
Yeah, this is no, I didn't. I'm not doing any zip lining or anything like that. I typically just take my 34 hours and take time to rest, and I clean the truck out, and that's kind of what I was doing this morning, is cleaning the truck out and rearranging everything and getting ready to go again. But I just take the time to rest. I have one of the things that I've been doing. If you've been watching any of my videos, you see that I'm doing my own cooking now. I don't eat at truck stops. I have lost about 45 pounds. It may be 50 by now. I haven't weighed in the last week or so, but I have lost a tremendous amount of weight. That's why all these t-shirts now look like they're just so sagging and whatever, is because I've lost so much weight. But I'm learning how to do it. Truck drivers, eating out of truck stops has got to be one of the worst things in the world. Yeah, I'm sure you face the same thing, and you gain weight, and man, it's bad when you're eating junk food and fried chicken, hamburgers, and Subway sandwiches, and man, it just piles the weight on you. And I kept gaining and gaining and gaining. Well, when I come to work for Crete, because because I weighed so much, they decided to give me uh, a sleep study test, and they decided that I was borderline on sleep apnea, and they put me on a CPAP machine, which I absolutely hate. Uh, can't stand it. And the doctor that put me on it told me that the only way that I could get off of it was to lose weight. So I have lost a bunch, and I'm not done yet. Now that I've figured out how to do it, the big secret is getting off of carbs, and carbs are your French fries and bread mainly. But I'm on a no or low carb diet. I'm drinking a drink that I found on YouTube that at least 100 different people swear by, which is sorry if you're hearing Mickey or Woody Woodpecker there. Somebody sent me a text.
No, you're good, bro. You're good. You can put the
It's
background.
that's my notice for getting a text. That my wife texted me. So, but anyway, I'm doing well. I'm enjoying Crete. Uh, Crete has some oddball rules and regulations that they stick by. Crete is owned by lawyers. I am told that the owners are attorneys, and everything they do is looking at it from an attorney's point of view, which I can, I can dig it. That's it's all about protecting me. I don't need to get sued, and I don't need for Crete to get sued over something that I've done. So I understand that. However, sometimes you have to kind of get their attention and tell them, hey, look, this is just plumb stupid here. It may be, from an attorney's point of view, you may be right, but this is just plumb stupid. And they do listen to you whenever I call into my terminal manager, or the rare occasion that I get to talk to somebody in Lincoln at the headquarters. They do listen to you, and occasionally they make changes that, uh, are good changes. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I'm just one of, I understand, over 4,000 drivers for Crete, so it's not up to me to run the company. All I can do is just give them suggestions and try to get along with their rules and regulations the best I can. So
Well, one thing that might help you out, brother, I've learned here over the years is you can fly under the radar here, and a lot of that stuff you can get around. You can get around a lot of that stuff here.
yeah, I'm finding out some of the tricks of the trade, and that's there's, as far as the CPAP machine is concerned, I can't exactly tell you what I've gotten under. Let me put it this way: I have a patent pending. I have paid a patent attorney, for a device that I have created, and because of that device, I'm not bothered by the thing I was just talking about. So that don't bother me anymore. But I'm finding other ways to. Uh, my patent, by the way, let me get back to that. My patent is in the patent pending stage. We've gone through all the preliminaries. We've gone through the making up a model of it, a working model, and I understand it'll be somewhere 6 to 9 months. So I'm looking somewhere the end of June or July, between June and the 1st of December. I should have a response back from the the U.S. Patent and Trade Office as to whether my patent is good or not. And once that happens, then I'll be able to talk about this a little more. But it's a good thing for truck drivers. It's a good thing, trust me.
How long have you been driving, and where did you come from, and how long you been at Crete?
Uh, this time around, I've been driving for a little over 6 years. I worked for a company before called Titan Transfer out of Shelbyville, Tennessee. We ran loads out of Shelbyville. Shelbyville is just right next door to Lynchburg, Tennessee, which is where Jack Daniel's liquor is made. And Titan, I won't say we delivered all of Jack Daniel's liquor, but we delivered a whole bunch of it all over the country. So I was a liquor runner. We also, there's a hot water heater. There's actually several hot water heater manufacturers there in the greater Nashville area, and we run hot water heaters as well. So it wasn't all liquor, but we'd haul anything coming back to Nashville. But great company, absolutely a good company. I had every weekend off. Just ran through the week. Normally, I would leave out about 3 o'clock on Sunday morning, and I'd come in on Thursday afternoon, and I'd have Friday and Saturday off. Uh, and I was doing okay. It was a great company, really good people. Just wasn't making any money. Just absolutely wasn't making any money. And right now, I am in this. Let me tell you about myself. I am in this for a different reason than everybody else is. Uh, I have I spent 25 years with a chemical plant in Jacksonville, Florida. I managed them. I had over 500 people underneath me. Uh, I started with the dirtiest, nastiest job in the plant and worked my way up to plant manager. And uh, we got bought out several times along the way. And the last one that bought them out before I left was a company out of England, and they decided they wanted to bring in their own management and do away with the existing managers, and so they retired me early. Uh, I took a nice lump sum settlement, and then now that I'm 65, I'm drawing a retirement from them as well. But uh, I became self-employed, and I have done. If people that know me can't believe that I'm driving a truck right now, uh, because I have been involved in computers and technology, and I have owned several corporations along the line. It wasn't exactly meant to be that way, but it seems like what I was doing is starting niche businesses and finding a niche market and developing it and growing the business until it was making money and doing well, and then sell the business. People would come along and offer to buy me out, and I'd sell it to them and go start another business. And I did that several times and did really well. Some of my business ventures, the business itself did well. It's just that there was not enough people in small towns to keep a business like that running. And I wanted to live in small towns and not big towns. So um, I would shut them down and go on and start something else. And that wasn't exactly what I intended on doing, but that's the way it worked out. I've owned, for instance, I've owned computer stores. I've owned uh, appliance parts, air conditioning parts stores. Uh, I owned a food truck in Nashville, Tennessee for a while. I loved it. Absolutely. I was making good money. I loved it. I just couldn't find reliable people to help me. I was in a movie while I owned that food truck business. I was in a movie that you can find on Netflix and some of the other. It's called Like a Country Song. It's with Billy Ray Cyrus and Larry Gatlin was in there, as well as a guy named Joel something Bone, Small Bone. Uh, anyway, I had a great time doing that. I've been on television a bunch while I was doing that. I was on the Travel Channel. I was on the History Channel. I was on the Food Network. So I really was having a ball doing that. I had to literally, I had to shut it down because I couldn't find people to help me. it's finding help is terrible. But anyway, to get back to your original question there, when I was in high school and college, it was before the CDL. If you could go and get what's called a chauffeur's license. And I worked for a company that processed eggs. We picked up eggs from chicken farms, and they would wash them, homogenize them, sort them by size, and package them to go out to the grocery stores and whatever. So it's an egg processing company. And the guy that drove the semi that went around at night and picked up eggs from the local egg farms, he suddenly quit or died, or I don't know what happened. Anyway, um, they needed a truck driver, something awful. So they told me that they'd pay me 25 cents an hour more. Now, this was back in like 1974 or 1975. They told me they'd pay me 25 cents an hour more if I'd go get a chauffeur's license. And all I'd have to do is go around to the chicken farms and pick up eggs at night with a semi. So that beat the heck out of wrestling cases of eggs and in a freezer or a heavily cooled refrigerated warehouse. And so that's what I did. I had it was mainly on dirt roads and back roads of a small county that didn't have a whole lot of traffic anyway. And I was driving at night, and they give me 1 day's training. And the guy that showed me how to do it told me, he said, look, I'm showing you how to do this. If you do it any other way, you're going to get stuck. And if you get stuck, it's up to you to pay for the wrecker to come pull you out or however you get out. But we ain't paying for it. So I did that for a short period while I was in college. And then I've kind of come back to driving a truck now that I'm officially retired. My wife and I was going to buy a Winnebago and travel the country, sell off our home, buy a Winnebago. You see people doing it all the time. They buy these big motorhomes and they travel the country and see. And that's what we were going to do. And one of my wife's friends drives a truck, and she kept telling my wife, tell him to go get his CDL and they'll pay him to go see the country. And I put it off and put it off. And finally, one day I said, okay, I'm tired of sitting around. This is what I'm going to do. So I found a local truck driving school that I found out that CDLs are now the way of and you have to go through a school in order to get a CDL. So my back experience from driving didn't mean anything, and I had to go through that. Anyway, and here I end up at Crete. Crete is a big mega carrier now, and it has. If you watch any of my videos, you'll see how it kind of progressed along and along. Where a lot of it I liked, I especially liked the money, and a lot of it I didn't like, and I tried. I don't want to give everybody the opinion that Crete is a bad place to work. Crete's a great place to work. They just got some strange ways of doing things, and so my videos kind of reflect that along and along. And now that I've been here, I've been with Crete now for about 8 months, I think it is, and at the current time, I'm running a dedicated route out of the Walmart distribution center in Cheyenne, Wyoming. And, I'm covering Wyoming, Montana, not North Dakota, but Idaho, Utah, a whole lot of Colorado. And their routes also go down into New Mexico. So this is really everybody's nightmare for driving is where I'm at right now in this part of the country. But it really is not bad. These people are experts on how to handle snow, and whenever a snowstorm hits, they're out there ahead of time preparing for it, and then when it does hit, they've got plenty of snow plows and plenty of salt and dirt and whatever to put on the road. And uh, so even though I'm in the nightmare of driving locations, I'm doing real well, and I'm actually having a good time doing this. So the roads are clean and dry, and when they do get a little squirrely, you just pull over and call in and tell them, hey, I can't do this. We got to wait a little bit. And Crete has been real good if you call them in. I've only had to do that one time, and it was over wind. It wasn't over ice or snow. It was over wind. And literally, the wind was trying to blow my trailer over, and it did take it off of the wheels on one side, and it scared me so bad that I just about stopped to a crawl, and at about 10 miles an hour, I went to the nearest rest area or pullover place I could pull over, and called them and told them, and there was not a question asked. They said, okay, we'll handle it from here. You let us know when you think it's safe to drive again. So I got to give them kudos for that. That's I know other companies would hassle you and say, "Oh man, we got to get this load here. You can't stop. You got to keep going." But not Crete. They say safety is first, and they absolutely mean it. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, Crete will not bother you if you want to shut down. Normally, I just send a message over to the people net. I don't even call them, and they'll never bother you over that. Cheyenne, Wyoming, um, it works for some guys. I won't work there anymore. I've done it a few times over the years. Uh, I did it. I think the last time I did it was last winter, last March. Um, but no, I won't work Cheyenne anymore. I work the other ones, but not Cheyenne. I don't particularly care for Paul's Valley either. I don't like that one either. But mine is more to do with the dispatch and the way the dispatch works out there. But anyway, what is that your normal fleet, or are you on OTR normally? What is your normal fleet?
No, I'm national, and I run out of Lenore City as my home terminal in Tennessee. And the problem with living in Tennessee is they try to keep all East Coast drivers running the East Coast and all West Coast drivers running the West Coast. Well, I want to run. I live kind of in the middle of the country, but they want to run me on the East Coast, and I'm happiest whenever I am west of I-65, anywhere west of I-65, and that's kind of not what they do to me. So whenever I have run now, I run a month out of. I have not been to Paul's Valley at all, but I run a month out of North Platte, uh, and I run a week out of the one up in Minnesota. I can't think of the name right offhand, but anyway, the one in Minnesota. I don't care if I don't never go back there. They run short runs and they run at night, and I'm not a night driver, so there's nothing wrong with the people there. There's nothing wrong with the loads there. It's strictly the fact that they run nights as a general rule, and I'm not a nighttime driver. So that's why me and that particular one didn't get along. Uh, Mankato is what I'm the town I was trying to think of. So I really don't care if I don't ever go back to Mankato, but I really like it out here in Cheyenne. The runs are 500 plus miles. Some of them are 1,800 mile runs. Um, and the country's beautiful. There, other than Denver, there's really no traffic. So that's another good thing. The lanes are good and wide. They take good care of the roads out here. So even uh, the Walmarts, for the most part, are right along the interstates. So you don't really have to do a whole lot of back roads. So it's all interstate, wide open interstate driving, and that's why it appeals to me. Uh, but it may not appeal to other people, and I understand that. Plus, the weather, dealing with the weather can be an issue, and I understand that it's not for driving a truck in general is not for everybody. So
No, no.
while I enjoy this, others may enjoy. I had another guy that I helped to bring on to Crete, and he wanted to run the Northeast. He lived up there, and he wanted to run the Northeast, and he was real happy being a Northeast uh, regional driver, and that well and good, man. That I'm happy for him, but that's not for me. It's absolutely not for me.
By the way, I hate the Northeast. And if there's anybody out there that wants to come to Crete and run the Northeast, I will be more than happy to hook you up with that. It seems like that's about 90% of our freight load. And we need all the Northeast help we can get. I'll even bring you shirts and treats when I come to Pennsylvania and see you at the terminal. If you want to run the Northeast fleet, you can have that. I just wanted to put that out there just in case somebody out there loves running the Northeast. But so you primarily, you'll do a month in Nebraska, then you go over to Cheyenne and do a month, and then you work your way back around home. Is what you're saying?
Right, right. So yeah, and whenever I do national loads, they run me back and forth, but a whole lot of it is up there in the Northeast, and when I say Northeast, it's what they have had me on has been Upper Ohio, Pennsylvania, and uh, New Jersey, and in that area running back and forth. And actually on I-80, running back and forth on I-80 is not bad. A lot of the customers are along I-80 there from all the way from uh, Illinois all the way to New Jersey. So, and that's not bad. It's really not bad. The roads that I really like or don't like that you saw I did a video on is I-81 and I-78. If I can stay off of those roads, I'm a lot happier. I really believe those roads, both of them need to be 6-lane. They have narrow lanes, and there's an awful lot of traffic, both truck traffic and four-wheelers, and it's just a danger I just don't particularly care to take.
Yeah, when they built the roads in Pennsylvania, they did not use any dynamite. They went over mountains, around them. There's no such thing as 100 yards of flat level ground anywhere in the state of Pennsylvania. I simply despise Pennsylvania. I run it, but it's not my favorite place to run either. I try to stay out of there if I can.
Yeah, and that's it. It's not that I won't go up there. It's just that that's not my preferred area. And I try to, I had let me talk about this for a minute too. I had whenever they brought me on to Crete, my first 3 months, I had what they called a trainer asset manager. And his job was to kind of train me in the way that Crete does things. I got along real well with him. He was a go-getter. I'm a go-getter. I like to drive my clock out every week. So me and him got along fine. And then they give me a permanent asset manager. And from the very first day, me and this guy did not get along. And I try to look at it. I've dealt with an awful lot of people in my lifetime. And sometimes you put two alpha dogs together and they just don't mix. So you gotta, it's that constant fight. So I tried to look at it, excuse me, as if it was two alpha dogs. I didn't know if that was the problem or if it was the guy just plain didn't like me, which I can understand that too. So I'm not for everybody. Or if it was some other issue. But anyway, I now have another asset manager, and the tension and the problems we were having, that seems to have solved itself there. Excuse me, I don't know why I got a cough all of a sudden.
Oh, you're fine, man. I don't know what asset manager you have. I have McCall. McCall is absolutely awesome. I've had Michelle. Michelle is decent. Those are the two that I've really liked. But McCall is my current asset manager, and he is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, the first one, his name was Dale. Um, I now have a guy named Jeremy Travis, and so far Jeremy has done real well. However, I haven't really spent a whole lot of time with him. Wait a minute.
Oh, you're fine.
There you go. Uh, I haven't spent a whole lot of time with him, but the time that I have spent, it's been real pleasant. He seems to be genuinely interested in keeping me happy, and uh, the loads that I got under him uh, were places I wanted to go. So uh, it's been fine. Of course, I get along real well with the people out here in Cheyenne as well. Uh, I understand there was a period, and I'm not sure when this happened, but I've talked to other drivers, and there was a period where there was an issue there, either with the terminal manager or some of the asset managers that worked there, that a whole lot of drivers did not get along real well with them at all. And I understand about a year ago that changed. So uh, maybe that's why I'm getting along so well, and other drivers that have been with Crete for a while, they're looking at me like I'm crazy. Uh, but maybe that's it. I'm just not having any issues or any problems at all. They're bending over backwards to help me. So uh,
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been out there, and Crete very much. If there's a problem, like I'm out of Wilmer, Texas is my terminal, and in my time at Crete, two different times Wilmer has come in there and let everybody go and rebuilt that terminal with staff from the bottom up. If there's a problem and Crete notices the problem, they do step in and try to fix it. That's one of the things I do like about them. Also, if you email or talk to the CEO, he will email you back. He will talk to you, and he will try to fix a problem if it's legit. That's another thing I do like about the company. So even though it's a mega carrier, we can we have all the contacts like you would in a small carrier, and that's one of the reasons I enjoy them. You know, and like you said in the beginning, the money here is just it's awesome. I've worked for a lot of companies out here. I've done oil field, heavy haul, uh, man, you name it. I've done everything except for haul cars and tankers. I've done everything else, and this is the best company I've worked for in my time. Out here on the road. But you know how that goes. Are you at
yeah,
Are you at the Walmart, or did you go over to the terminal?
yeah, I'm at a Walmart right now. I'm in their parking lot, and I'm about halfway through. I got here, made my delivery, and got done about 6 o'clock yesterday afternoon. So about 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, my 34-hour break will be up, um, and I'll head back to the DC. But this is a beautiful location, and I don't mind being here a bit. And they have a separate area over here to the side where uh, there's me and one other truck here right now, but there was several of us here last night. But they have a separate area, and they don't mind us parking here in this Walmart parking lot. Uh, so that's where I'm at.
Having
But
been in the industry since the '70s, off and on, like you have, how do you feel about the brotherhood among truckers and how that's changed from then till now?
uh, whenever I drove a truck before, it was a real brotherhood. If a truck was broke down on the side of the road and another truck passed, generally he'd stop and pull over and go ask the guy, "Hey man, you need anything? I got a few tools, and I might have a spare part to get you going, or is there anything I can do? Have you got plenty of water? Have you got food? Have you got somebody? Do you need me to run to a phone and make a phone call?" This was before cell phones, so that sort of thing. Whenever you went to get fuel, uh, everybody dressed for success back then. That was something I noticed different. Mostly Western wear. Drivers wore Western wear, and at the time that was I wore boots and jeans and Western shirts, and I didn't necessarily wear a cowboy hat, but generally everybody dressed really nice. Anymore, you see drivers with they wear pajamas and flip flops and t-shirts and if you pull over on the side of the road, they'll do everything they can to run over you anymore. It seems like they don't. A whole lot of drivers won't pull over, and at least when they pass you, they won't give you some space there. And a whole lot of it, I think, has to do with we have a about half of the drivers these days are from other countries and they don't understand our culture. Um, I think a lot of it is that. Um, it's just a different day and age now where people generally just don't respect each other. And whether it's with drivers or whether it's with somebody else.
Yeah, I completely agree. It seems to have become a very much me generation. Everyone's
Yeah,
worried about themselves. They're not worried about the next guy. That's why you'll see guys taking breaks in the fuel island because they're not worried about the guy behind them. You'll see
right.
guys park where they shouldn't park because they're not worried about the next driver. And uh, over the years, I've noticed that change, and it's scary because it seems to get worse every year. You know, and back when I started driving, you didn't do that. If you did that, everybody would shun you. I mean, you just didn't do stuff like that. It wasn't accepted, and it's become accepted where nobody says anything. They just kind of gripe to themselves about it. And I think we need to be more outspoken about it. And just like the dress code, sure, you're in an air conditioned cab. I get it. You're going down the road. I get it. But when you step out of that cab, you're a representation of all of us. And if you step out of the cab looking like you just got off the beach in Florida, it's hard for the public to take us seriously as a serious group, as hardworking Americans, when you get out of a truck with flip flops, shorts, and a tank top on. It just don't look right. And it's hard to tell the public or even go after more money, in the industry when we carry ourselves in such a manner. And that's a problem. I know some people disagree out there, but that's a problem I believe that we have that needs to be addressed. Those two things, bringing drivers back together. We have so much inner fighting. You can't get five drivers to agree on. I mean, you can walk in a truck stop right now. You can set a rock on the table and say that's a gray rock, and you'll have 10 drivers surround you and argue with you about the color of that rock. You know, I mean, but I think something else that's changed over the years is when I first came out here, we didn't have cell phones either. But we got out of the truck, we socialized with each other. Yes, the CB radio. Nowadays, everybody's got a cell phone. So when they park, they close their curtains up. They retreat to their back of their cab, their sleeper, and they don't socialize. So we have a sick society that's not socializing properly. And I think that's what's causing a lot of the problems in society that we're facing today, not only in trucking, but even in general, like our kids, our grandkids, different things like that that are happening out here. And I think it's sad. I think it's sad to see. Um, I mean, and not to say that as drivers, we didn't pick on each other back then. We did, but it was different. It was a lot different. It wasn't the hostility that you have today, you know,
Yeah.
and
Whenever I go to a restaurant to eat, occasionally I'll go in a truck stop restaurant, and they always have a bar uh, that's like single chairs. It's not a booth. It's not a table. It's a bar that you can sit at. And generally, the other drivers, some of the older ones like me, and they'll sit at the table, and we'll all get to talking with each other. And hey, what do you like about your company? What do you like about yours? And I'm a flatbedder. No, I only haul drive-in, or no, I do refrigerated, or and everybody's got their own thing, and you learn a lot. Uh, Talking to other drivers, you learn a lot about the country and the way everything works. Just talking to other drivers, and that's part of the camaraderie of being a truck driver that used to be that's kind of going. That you don't see that too much anymore. That drivers will sit by themselves at a table or a booth and won't say a word to nobody and play on their phone while they're eating their meal. And uh, that's it's just in general. It's not necessarily truck drivers. It's just
Yeah.
in general. People just don't
Yeah.
talk to each other anymore.
We used
So
to we used to go in the restaurants a lot of times in the truck stops. This is my first few years, and we would all sit down and eat together. It wasn't nothing to walk in there and see the round table in the corner at the Denny's or whatever with 5 or 6 of us sitting there talking to each other. And we were
yeah,
all from different companies. Some were owner operators, some were company drivers, some flatbedders. It didn't matter. We all sat around, we shared war stories, and we talked, and we would run into each other out on the road and talk over the radio with each other. We all knew each other out here. Um, it was awesome. Used to run into those drivers sometimes at other places. I might be out in Ontario and run into a driver I've seen in Gary, you know, and it was just like running into an old friend. But we don't have that anymore, and it really it really bothers me that that's gone away. Um, I guess it's one of my pet peeves. It bothers me that that doesn't exist now. When you walk up to a driver, sometimes they act irritated. That you're approaching them to talk to them. Even in the truck stop, everybody
yeah,
wants their little circle. And safe space or whatever you want to call it. That they're into nowadays. I'm not a hipster, so I don't really know. But it's sad that it's approached that. I am
yeah,
happy that money has increased quite a bit out here over the years because we went through a period where it seemed like the money had kind of froze. We went through like a 6, 7 year period where there wasn't really a whole lot of increase in our wage, even though the price of everything was going up. Well, over the last few years, that seems to kind of have corrected itself, and that's one of the good things about today. But the camaraderie among drivers is really broken.
yeah. The money is getting better. The I don't want to get into a whole lot of politics, but the the inflation is eating up the money. The increases, a whole lot of the increase that we've seen over the last couple of years is being eat up by inflation. So it's kind of keeping us back down where we were, even though we're making more money. But I agree with you 100% that I miss the camaraderie. I miss talking to people over the radio. Sometimes on a long trip, you can get to talking to somebody that's riding along the same way you are, and you have a conversation. You get to learn them, that about their kids, and one of them's got a kid they're putting through college, or grandkids, and you learn about people and their families, and you make a friend out on the road, and you look forward to riding along with them again sometime. On top of that, it makes the time, it passes the time real quickly too whenever you have a good conversation going on. So uh, I miss it. I really miss it.
Yeah, I'm not much of a night driver either, and I never have been. I do it if I have to, but it's not my forte. I wouldn't say. But I remember years ago, we kept each other awake at night. I remember playing games on the CB. Name that tune. I mean, just silly stuff, telling
Yeah,
stories. Some crazy lot lizard we seen in West Memphis that everybody knew. We kept each other up all night. Just using
that's
that.
you just brought up something there that I'm going to start doing in my videos. I think I'm going to start telling some of the stories that I know. I'm doing the dash cam videos now, which people seem to enjoy seeing the dash cams. But I think I'm going to start telling some of the stories and some of the stuff that's happened over the years. and see if people like hearing the stories. You know, I'm limited right now because my subscriber count is low, but I'm limited to 15 minutes. But anyway, I can tell a story in 15 minutes, and I think it's things people would enjoy hearing and whatever. So storytelling, that's going to be a big part of what's coming up on my channel.
That's awesome, man. And one of the reasons I wanted to get you on the channel is because I had watched a couple of your videos and I liked them. You seem down to earth. You're an old school driver, been around a while, and it's good to get that breed out here, you know. And we lead by example to the younger drivers. You know, that's why no matter how they're dressing, I step out of the truck dressed properly. No matter what they're doing, I try to do it the way we used to do it. You know, just to lead by example. You know, and that's something that we got to do. We can't just talk it. You know, we got to actually walk that walk at the same time. You know.
Right, right. I agree, 100%. So I've been watching your videos too. I just found out about you here whenever you commented on one of my videos a while back, and I've started watching some of your videos, and I enjoy some of the stuff you talk about is real relevant and real. You know, it needs to be said. It's things that nobody talks about anymore, and so I've enjoyed that as well.
It's like I tell people, DOT's against us. These companies, I mean, good or bad, at the end of the day, they don't really care. You know, um, we're away from our families. We're out here on the road. We're 1,000 miles from home. You know, the only thing we have is each other. That's it. You know, so if
This is true.
you take away that camaraderie between me and another driver, all of us, you know, regardless of where we're from, regardless of what race we are, regardless of what religion we are, you take away that camaraderie of a driver and we don't have anything, you know.
Yeah,
And one of the reasons that the government has been able to come into our industry and pretty much do whatever they want is the fact that there's no alliance, there's no camaraderie. You know, they don't have anything pushing back against them because we're not united at all in any kind of way, you know. And we, you know, it may be a failing mission or whatever, but that's been my mission since I started YouTube, you know, is to try to bring that brotherhood back, try to get us back to at least going in the right direction, you know.
yeah,
um it's a strong belief of mine, man, that when you leave a situation, you leave this world, you want to leave it better than you found it,
yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
And I see something that's broken and just want to do the best I can to try to bring it all together. And that's
Yeah,
why I get on like your channel. There's other channels I get on. There's even owner operators I go watch and stuff like that. And it's to show them support and to help their channel a little bit and help their videos get some views and stuff like that. It's to support them because we have to support each other, you know. And even drivers I don't agree with, you know, I still will go and watch their stuff. I'm getting their perspective, which is good, and I will still support it and try to get it out there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I've been watching a younger black guy, and I can't tell you what his name is right now, but he started producing videos about the same time I did, and he's doing real well. And as a young, if I was a younger man, I would be an owner operator right now doing this. But I'm too old to fool with it. By the time I got it paid for, I wouldn't be wanting to run anymore. So I mean, it doesn't make sense at my age to be an owner operator. But this guy, I enjoyed watching his perspective on the trucking industry in general, and watching him grow. He now has two or three different trucks that he's running, and he left company uh, the company driver, and now he's doing it on his own, and I'm enjoying that perspective, getting a different perspective on the industry in general. And of course, I like listening to other company drivers as well to hear what they like and don't like about their particular company. Uh, that's what helped me make a decision whenever I came to work for Crete. Was listening to what other drivers had to say, and so we have a new, something you mentioned a minute ago. We have a new platform that's going to be coming about here at the end of February. I think you know what I'm talking about, but I don't know how long I'm going to stay on YouTube. I may end up on that platform and try to build that instead. Uh, I also have some videos on Rumble. So anytime I post on here, I also post on Rumble. So um, that may be changing as far as where I post videos. We'll just have to see how this all plays out. But it's going to be a major change in social networking, and I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think there's going to be changes. And I post across a wide platform as well. I post on some of these other things. I'm on Indeed. I keep up with the freight also. I was an owner operator at one time, and I still keep up with the freight trends on Indeed, listening to Freight Waves and some of these other um, gurus that talk about, what's coming, what's happening, supply and demand, logistics, infrastructure. I keep up with all that. Who knows? I may change my mind next year and go buy a truck again. I mean, I don't know. But at the present time, no plans on that. Um, but yeah, there's definitely going to be some changes coming to social media and how social media works. I think there's going to be some different platforms come out. I'm waiting to see how those take off and how all that happens. And I'll probably be kind of going over there and doing some of that as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was wanting to get you on here for a little bit, let you tell your story, um, get out there, let some of the subscribers. I got a really good group of subscribers on my channel. They're really good people, so they could see your channel. Maybe some of them hop over there and give you some views and stuff, and check some of your content out. Before we close up here, can you go ahead and put your channel out there and a little bit of that, and that way they'll know how to find you and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's Jiggyfly the Trucker. Right now, I don't have a direct link because I'm under 500 subscribers, but it's Jiggyfly the Trucker. Uh, I mainly do. I'm showing dash cams of all over America. It's nothing in particular. America's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, and I try to pick out some of the best dash cam video and post it on here, and then have a little story to go along with it. Tell you something about Crete, if it's good or bad, or I'll tell it all to you. Right now, I'm having I won't say a war, but I'm having a interesting conversation, series of conversations with Nermina and her pack of chihuahuas in the logs and compliance department. So somehow I seem to have got on their list, and that's okay. If I'm on their list, I'll make it worth their while.
Don't
But
feel
anyway,
bad, brother. I've been there too.
but that's what I'm gonna name her, is Nermina and the Chihuahuas. But anyway, the Chihuahuas have been giving me a fit lately, and that's okay. They don't pay my paycheck, but anyway, I'd appreciate it if you come over and check out my videos, even if you turn the volume off and just watch the beautiful dash cam videos. It's America's beautiful, and I'm trying to show it to you a little bit at the time.
Yeah, Brandon is Jiggyfly the Trucker, and I'll be posting a link to one of his videos in the description of this one, so that y'all can get into the description and click on it and go over to his channel as well. And it's been great talking to you. I hope to run into you at one of the terminals, man. Maybe we can go have dinner sometime and
Sounds good.
kind of talk about the old days. My grandfather drove, my stepdad drove, and of course I've been out here, quite a while, about 13 years now. So it'd be nice to sit and and have dinner with an old timer. I'll buy you dinner if we run into each other, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I just turned 65 years old, so I can't retire. I'm drawing a retirement from my other company at 65, but I can't draw Social Security full until I'm 66 and 4 months. So I'm going to keep driving until I'm 60, at least until then. We'll see how everything shakes down, and I may continue if my health holds and everything else holds. I may continue driving. Anyway, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate what you're doing. It's a big help to me. So thank you, and I'll look forward to having that meal with you.
Yes, sir. You take care of yourself and your family, and keep trucking.
Thanks so much.
All right, everybody. That's Jiggyfly the Trucker. Jiggy with a J. Um, awesome guy. He's been around the industry a long time. He has a lot to offer the industry because he has been around the industry a long time. I've watched some of his videos. He seems really genuine, really honest, really humble. He's a good guy. See him out on the road, man, give him a holler. If you see him before I do, you tell him old snapper said hi. You know, we got to stick together out here and stay united against all this stuff. And it's been great chatting with y'all. It's been great seeing y'all in the comments. I've enjoyed it. I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. It'll be posted up shortly, and it'll have a link to his channel as well. Y'all take care. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. I'm going to get going back on the road, and y'all keep trucking.